Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading. This is your weekly analysis for euro dollar. So the European euro versus the US dollar, the date is 5/17/2020, 11:21 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in the States. As you can see, I have my pivot points pulled up here. We're going to use those to map out our different weekly destinations for price, looking for buying and selling opportunities. For now, I'm going to go ahead and minimize it, and let's talk about the big picture real quick. So my sentiment is bearish. We're looking at, not only do we have a multi-year downtrend for euro dollar, but in recent times, if we look at more recent trend, this is just, it's on a downtrend. We see lately price has been going kind of sideways. It found some near-term support at about the $107.8, 108, 107.75 mark, but it looks like that support should break soon. So we have this long-term descending downtrend, and if we look closer at these candles, these daily candles, we can see that price really honors this line, right? It moves above or below it. We did, with the exception of this really whipsaw spasm here, pretty much every time price moves above that, it's been rejected, sell-offs occur, and with our median line is really around this $1.09 level. We see the last few days price action failed to move higher, right? So all of our candles closing below the daily moving average, closing below the 108.15 marks for a slow descent. So there you go. So I'm bearish. It would take a move above 109 to make me bullish. So let's go ahead and look at our 4-hour chart and then apply those pivot points to get a better idea of what this week might look like. I'm guessing before we even apply the pivot points, it's going to be a pretty narrow band. Whenever prices go sideways and like average out and kind of move sideways with the moving average, the pivot points tend to be pretty close together. So let's find out. 108.62 is our weekly pivot. Oh, that's where our little line was. Okay, let's move this down. 108.62, right there, about 20 pips down. That's our weekly pivot. I like to think of a pivot as a likely place that price will return to. So we could see prices move up a little bit, maybe. Right now we're traveling below the 4-hour moving average, so if so, it looks like that pivot might be a near-term ceiling. R1, 109.57. Okay, so that's a bigger band than I anticipated. I thought the resistance would be a little bit tighter. So R1, what was that number again? 109.57. Now these are weekly pivot points. You can do them on the daily, you can do them hourly. So R1, 109.57. R2, resistance 2, 1.1075. So if we were to see that R1 broken, 1.1075, that's some near terms high. That's the high back from 27th of March. R2, 1.1075. So that really covers that upper range, and we've been talking about like prices moving down. As you can see, sell-off 1, sell-off 2, sell-off 3, and then now the price is just having a hard time even staying above, right? If you think of something slowly sinking down, that's what you see here. It's almost like gravity's tugging down on price. We can see, let's go ahead and what's our near-term support? I'm curious what the bottom is. 107.44. So here we go. Perfect. Recent lows. That's the bottom. Price is still kind of tooling around sideways. It's been doing that for a bit. We talked about that last couple weeks ago, that price is kind of moving back and forth sideways. But as we can see, that this triangle is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Eventually, it looks like we're going to pop out the bottom. So let's go ahead. What was that number again? 107.44. So any down movement, downwards movement, that'd be our first stop. even if price will, we can say, okay, we're pretty confident with the multi-year downtrend that prices will break through support. It can sit there for a while, right? We can see here it's happening for over a number of weeks. That can happen. You just get kind of stuck in a zone there. 106.49 is our next support. So then we see that's our low back from March 20th. So S2, 6.49. All right. So now if we do see a breakout, breakout would be if we would see lower than those lows. But I would say my guess is for this week, if we look at this calendar down here, we're mid-May, June, going in possibly into July. I don't know. I just be interesting. You never know with Forex, but we first have to see a really clear break of S1 and a clear break of S2 to resume the overall downtrend. I think we can see a return to S2 pretty soon here. But beyond that, we're going to need some real major compelling market forces to push it out of there. So I'm definitely looking for my next sell opportunity. Looks like it's pretty close. And it looks like this might be the highest prices get in the near term. But still, then I'm going to put my stops right behind that pivot point, because if we do kind of bound back above there and head back for R1, I'd rather get back in there than be stuck in my pivot position. So, all right, everyone, have a great week. I hope you make lots of pips. We will talk soon.